ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. Actually, Mary was my ex-wife, and ho, ho, ho is because she loved getting her stocking stuffed. Ho, ho, ho.
Santa, what are you doing? I told you can't interrupt my...
Just having a bit of fun with the good people. My goodness, seems like someone didn't have their jingle bells last night. And I thought I was the only one that came once a year.
I told you can't come in here and over-sexualize Christmas with all of your stupid little jokes. It's just obnoxious. I got stuff I gotta do.
Wow. Sounds like someone must have been a goblin for Halloween.
Yes, gobbling these nuts. I'm not falling for your D's nuts joke for the 150th time.
Oh, it sounds like I was a bit of a nuisance to you. Here, let me make it up to you. Would you like some Christmas popcorn or candies?
I told you, I'm not falling for your candies nuts fit inside your mouth bit, okay? The D's nuts thing is over, okay? So just give it up. I gotta get to my show, okay?
Oh, well then, how about we go downstairs and have some pudding?
Yes, putting these nuts in your mouth. It's not gonna work on me. You know, don't you have to get back to Norway or something? Unless you didn't hear what happened there.
Well, what happened to Norway?
Oh, there's Norway. These nuts will fit in your mouth.
My brother in Christ. We have to record. We have to record a podcast. How? I can't work under these conditions. I'm gonna call my agent.
You're not assisting with the situation.
Something that will never cease to fascinate me is how ex-Jehovah's Witnesses will complain about not ever having celebrated any holidays. Oh, we didn't get to celebrate birthdays or Christmas or anything like that. And then when it comes time that you've left the organization, you've left that doomsday cult, and you can now celebrate those holidays, then the ex-witness will also say, man, I really hate this holiday, and it's just a bunch of capitalism and a bunch of nonsense. Then they'll grab some TikTok therapy words. There's this toxic positivity and everyone's virtue signaling. You know the type I'm talking about. Now, are they wrong in any of their assessments about the negative aspects of hawking Xboxes? And no one buys an Xbox anymore, let's be honest. PlayStations in the name of Jesus? Yeah, that's a very fair criticism, absolutely. Wrapping something in a religious guise and using that as, hey, let's spend all of the money that we possibly can. Sure, yeah, that I totally get that. But the thing I find fascinating is how are you mad and bitter that you weren't able to do the thing? And then when you can do the thing, you're mad and bitter about it still and angry. And I think this is coming from an interesting psychological place. So as a non-expert, weird little red hat wearing bozo on the internet, I thought I would pour a big old cup of yappuccino and give my thoughts about Christmas and ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and their view of Christmas. And who knows what will come out of the diary of my thoughts that flow throughout my mouth. But, we will see. This is just going to be podcast style, Wally. So if you're not used to it, I just start talking and we see where things go. So if things get a little bit scattered, you can understand a little bit how my brain works. So what is this sort of sneering that ex-witnesses will have towards Christmas? Well, personally, I think this is coming from a place that we're a little bit insecure about. So first off, yeah, as a witness, you cannot celebrate any of the holidays. You see other people around you and they're getting together with their family, they're getting gifts, they're taking vacations. There's just this overwhelming jovial sense where people are having a good time and trying to restore their faith in humanity, that people are kind towards one another, and that ultimately we're trying our very best to not be selfish jerks all the time. So that, when you see that as a Jehovah's Witness, you are programmed to look at that in a negative way. From our very upbringing, we are taught that somehow giving gifts and spending time with family and taking some time off of work or going on vacation is somehow an insult to God because it's wrapped around the birth of Jesus. Well, Jesus wasn't really born on December 25th, don't you know? Real Scrooges out here. And when you look at something as being evil and satanic, it probably forever taints that if you allow it to. You will no doubt only see the negative aspects of it. So you have decades of old watchtowers and awakes talking about, oh, it's just a commercial thing. It's all just about money and greed, and people are, offing themselves during this time, accumulating massive amounts of debt, all of this stuff. Jesus wasn't born. It's Satan trying to control people. Watchtower really tries to put it in Jehovah's Witnesses' minds that Christmas is this very evil thing. Now, are there valid criticisms? Absolutely, about this. But at the same time, what is it really about? Are people celebrating Christmas as a, hey, let's get together to celebrate the baby Jesus and hail Satan? No. It's time off of work. It's getting some stuff done around the house. It's, hey, I love to bake, but I never have time, and now I get to bake. Hey, I love to cook, and I never have time to cook, so I have to order factory meals all the time, but now I get to actually make fresh meals, not ordering pizza. And wow, my kids never visit, so now the whole family's all here together. My boss is riding me all the time, but boy howdy hey, I got a $500 bonus from work, and that makes me feel pretty cool. That's what Christmas is to the majority of people. And yet Jehovah's Witnesses seem to think that it's this just opulent, who can do the biggest gift, and whoever's got the biggest gift has the biggest, and it's just not that way. So I think when people eventually leave the organization and they have an opportunity, they carry some of that with them. So that's one aspect of it. The other is when you don't have those traditions. So other people, they have their traditions of the gingerbread houses and the Charlie Brown and the music, all of that stuff, the family. And as an ex-witness, unfortunately, we don't have any of that. A lot of times, our families are all gone. We don't have that connection. We don't have those traditions that we've had for a long time. So you're kind of left with your hands in your pockets saying, well, what is there to celebrate? Who is there to celebrate with? And that's a pretty valid point. I know the holidays can be very, very rough for a lot of ex-witnesses for that very reason. That's why I've been trying to make more videos and stuff. Hopefully they're kind of sort of helpful in their own unique little corner of the internet way. But I think a way of analyzing this is to just step back and ask, is it just jealousy that other people have something that we want? And instead of trying to combat jealousy and not having with creativity and creating and then therefore having, it's easier to just slide into, squint your nose, Christmas sucks, I hate this time of year. But at the same time, you have now an opportunity to create something of your own. Where there was nothing, that you have this time off of work, now you can fill that with something. You don't have to go to a meeting. Oh, Lord, you don't have to go out in the ministry on Christmas Day. Raise your hand if you've preached on Christmas Day. I did one time, and I will never do that ever again. That was, holy Moses. Even as a witness, I was like, there is no way I will ever participate in Christmas Day witnessing ever again. Ugh, that was awful. Actually, the very first video I think I ever uploaded on YouTube was about Christmas, funnily enough. So anyway, what am I talking about? Well, this is just general life, right? Okay, this is just how Wall-E sees the world and tries to tackle things. So you always have some type of choice that you can make if you want to improve your situation in these little micro ways. These macro ways, micro ways, it doesn't matter. So like, I'll just use myself, for instance. Like, a year ago, I was very unhealthy, an alcoholic, slowly killing myself. And I would think to myself that I would never be able to be healthy. Like, it seemed impossible just going a couple of days without the substance was just no. It like the internal pain, the psychological pain was so insurmountable. I thought, well, nope, that'll never happen. And it made me angry, I suppose, in a way, like mad at myself, which doesn't help the situation either. And it was then in attempts to try and make it better, tackling that from a anger perspective. Well, I shouldn't be this way. I can't do this. I want to be something different, but I'm not. I'm not the person that I could be. And this is going to sound really stupid, but just ride with me for a second here. Something that helped was trying to shift my mindset into being more positive, because positive emotions are much more functional than negative emotions. And I remembered years ago, I was working out at the gym, and every once in a while you get some guy with bleached blonde tips in his hair, and he's on steroids, he's just a big guy, and he just starts talking to you. And you're just like, okay, whatever. I guess this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 minutes. You just got to talk about your routine and everything. And I was like, yeah, man, how did you get so jacked? Like, you're huge. You could eat me. And he's like, man, I see people, and I come in here in the gym all the time. And they're fucking, they're just mad, bruh. And you can't be mad. Your just body's all full of this negativity and this energy, and you got to just leave all that stuff at the door, and you got to come in here and be positive, man. And I let this peroxided, porn-addicted idiot yap for a little while. And then for whatever reason, I thought, okay, I'm just going to run the experiment, because what else am I going to do? Okay, so normally I can bench 200 pounds. Okay, boom, try my best. Can I do more? Oh, fail. So I think, okay, for a week, I'm going to see if I can hit any of my personal records for a week in any one lift, on a variety of different lifts. And I'm going to exclusively think about my mother and just be angry. Just be mad. Just go in there with a bone to pick. So I go in there with a bone to pick, and I'm angry, and I got the Avenged Sevenfold in the ears, and I'm ready to get it. Brother, I was useless. Running out of steam. For an entire week, wasn't able to hit a personal record on anything. So I'm like, okay, well, now we're going to take this guy's advice, and I'm just going to flood my mind with positivity. I'm gonna think about random SpongeBob memes. I'm gonna think about boobs. I'm gonna think about whatever is like makes me happy. Okay. Almost on every single exercise for every single muscle in my body, I was hitting PRs. I'm like, wait, what? That's crazy. Just that shift of thinking about positive things and just letting that good energy flow through me, it made a world of difference, like an actual measurable difference. Now, okay, so bringing that back around. So when I wanted to finally stop being an addict, I remembered that. And I said, I'm going to do this for not because I'm a fat loser, just an idiot who just doesn't care, who's just throwing things away. No, I'm going to do this because I have a goal of what I want to feel like, what I want to look like. And those things make me happy. Those things are good. Hell, everyone wants to look. Everyone wants to have abs and the big muscles. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that for me. And instead of attacking it from the I'm a loser, I can't, no, negative, defeating yourself before you even attempt, I'm going to just be positive and do this for positive reasons. And it completely, and I mean completely, was a game changer. It revolutionized my health entirely. And bringing this all back to Christmas, sorry, I told you it was Podcast Wally, and I can turn the microphone on and just talk endlessly. But using this as a stencil for this situation where we're looking at Christmas and we're just always seeing all the negative. When you're as a Jehovah's Witness, negative. And then you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness and you look at it still as negative. And then you talk to other ex-witnesses and they hate Christmas because, Christmas sucks. And so you hate Christmas because Christmas sucks. And everyone hates Christmas because Christmas sucks. Well, not everyone, but I'm being hyperbolic. And it kind of snowballs. And it's all from this place of kind of just being angry. So let's look at the actual situation, the reality of the paradigm here, the whole sphere. Take ourselves out of the equation. And, that's one of the hardest things to do. Hold a mirror up to yourself. Remove yourself as if you're a satellite. This is a time of year where, hey, you might get a bonus from work. Hey, you might have a week or 2 weeks off of work. Hey, there's going to be a bunch of hot deals and stuff. Whether or not those are real, leave that for you to decide. So maybe something that you've really wanted, a TV or a new vacuum cleaner or whatever the case is. Might be a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable, maybe in your budget. You're just going to have some time on your hands, even if it's only a day or if it's a couple days, to just have to yourself. Okay, so those things, all of those things, like the actual working mechanics of Christmas time, that's not bad. Hey, I can work with that. You know what? I've always wanted to make my own cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna make some cinnamon rolls because that makes me happy. And if you look at it from a more positive perspective, instead of stewing in the negativity and thinking about what you don't have, that jealousy or that insecurity, well, everyone else has a family and I don't. Okay, but what do you have? Well, maybe you have some extra time on your hands. Maybe you have a little extra money in your, the things I just said. And if you look at it from that perspective and try to, with creativity, as a combatant to jealousy and insecurity, you try and build something. Then you start creating these traditions for yourself. You might find other people, your other friends that also like to bake, and maybe they can't travel to go see their family this year. Oh, you're just going to be at home baking too? Oh, well, you want to watch Christmas movies and bake together? And whatever it's going to be will be different for you. But instead of automatically rejecting something because of the negative, maybe finding ways of where you fit in, where you can start building your own traditions. If you like decorating, maybe every year just get yourself a couple little Christmas decorations and start putting them up. And who knows, after a couple years, you're going to have pillows and snowmen and snowflakes hanging from the ceiling and lights outside. And that might be your thing. That might be your tradition. Doesn't require the family and everything. But if that's something you enjoy, or what if it's painting? Man, I'm going to just paint something Christmassy. Or anything for that matter. And hey, that's your tradition. Now I get to do my little Christmas painting. Man, I've been wanting to finish this video game. Maybe that's your Christmas tradition, and you don't have to look at it in comparison to other people, because what the idea behind just having some vacation time, some holiday time, is to do things that make you happy. So that's why I think it'll be my new outro because I just said it off the top the other day. And I thought, that was actually kind of good. Is to spend more time loving the things that you love than hating the things that you hate. Because it's easy to fall into a cycle of hating. And when you do that, you kind of drag yourself down. It's like you're trying to lift the weights and you just can't muster. And it's not a physical thing. The barrier is literally in your brain. Your brain is holding you back. I know that sounds like TikTok guru now. I'm going off the deep end here, but it's something I truly believe in. I genuinely think that you can use creativity to combat a lot of the negativity in your mind. And if you have a little extra time on your hands, maybe it's a handy little practice. So if you feel angry about Christmas time and everything, maybe take a step back and ask yourself why you feel angry. And if you're looking just for the validation of, well, it's just an evil capitalistic, commercialization of everything, I hear you and I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying is not wrong, but you also are probably saying that. And if you're typing out that comment, you're probably typing that comment on a device that was made with actual child slavery or some type of slavery, as you're keeping yourself warm with clothes that were made under conditions that, if you knew the faces and the lives of the people that made those, would be horrifying to you. So there's always a negative thing. If you look at how we live our lives in Western society, it's nuts. And if you take a step back and think about it, so if your argument is, well, Christmas bad because capitalism, commercialism, all evil, well, I guess then 24/7 around the clock is going to be a really bad time, because those same arguments and things are applicable all year round. And, there's a little bit of you got to play with the cards you're dealt sort of situation here. Not saying it's good, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, not the most eloquently I've ever elucidated a point, but I guess the thing is just remember, we're all participating in a system that isn't good, and we're along for the ride to a certain point. Absolutely, there's things we can advocate for and change and speak out against and be conscious of, hey, where we get our food, where we get our clothes, to the best of our ability. But then there's that $7 Walmart t-shirt, am I right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when the last time. I actually haven't bought a Walmart t-shirt in a long time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I guess the point is like, that is a criticism, but that's a criticism of a larger system and a critique of a larger system that runs very deep in our society. And is it really specific to just Christmas? Or is that something that's just 24/7, that, hey, now because people are just spending more money, it's something to talk about more? Probably something to that effect, right? Oh, my computer? We're still recording. We're good. Anyway, Christmas, preaching sucks. Don't do that. Yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say with the Christmas time. So I hope everyone out there is staying safe and, doing things that make you happy. Not saying you got to get into the Christmas cheer and go outside caroling and all of that, but at the same time, it's not necessarily a net negative, because there are just, you get a little extra time, and that's pretty cool. So I guess just keeping everything in perspective is usually a healthy way to go about and live your life. So with all that being said, that is all I got for you. This video is kind of silly and long, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, stay safe, be kind, and remember to love the things you love more than you hate the things you hate. And I hope everyone has a good ass day.